It's time for the story, Kookaburra.
In the village of Lucknow Nagar, everyone lived peacefully and happily. Rinky Mossy used to enjoy the happy scenes from her window. She often used to stand at her window and chit chat with passers by. This became her daily routine. One morning, when she came to see the happy villagers, she was surprised to find no one there. The next morning, she again could not find anyone passing by. Rinky Mossy was very worried. She started wondering where the villagers had gone. On the fifth morning, when Rinky Mossy peeped through her window, she saw a beam of light. She saw Ramu, the vegetable seller, who seemed worried and in a hurry passing by. She quickly calls him and inquires where the villagers are. Ramu tells Mossy that the village is haunted by a ghost and that everyone is too scared to come out of their houses. He tells Mossy that one night, while everyone was asleep, villagers were awakened by a terrifying sound. When they stepped outside to investigate, they found no one, but the sound was chilling enough to send shivers down their spines. The next night, the same eerie sound haunted them once again. Creeping through the silence like a cold, invisible hand, it seemed to come from nowhere, sending a chill down their spines, as if the very air around them had turned hostile. The third night, the sound grew louder, closer, filling the air with a suffocating chill. The walls seemed to shiver with each eerie echo. Even the children, once deep in sleep, sprang awake, their eyes wide with fear as the bone-chilling noise crawled into their minds, freezing them in place. On the fourth night, the voice returned, more haunting than ever. The women, trembling with fear, decided to stay close to the children, while the men, determined to uncover the source, set out to investigate. But when they searched, they found nothing, only the oppressive silence and the lingering echo of the unexplainable sound. The villagers are now deciding whether to stay or leave, as fear has taken over them all. I am heading to the meeting to hear their decision, said Ramu, and he left. Upon hearing this, Rinki Mosi was devastated. She began to wonder what decision villagers would make. The villagers discussed how difficult it had become to let go of everything, the sleepless nights, scared family members, all of which were starting to affect their work. They decided to leave their village and move to a neighboring village in search of work. The women also discussed the same thing in the meeting, expressing their fear and uncertainty and agreeing that leaving might be the only option for the safety and well-being of their families. They all gathered to tell Mossy about their final decision and asked her to join them, but Rinky Mossy interrupted, insisting that there was no such thing as ghosts. But the villagers ignored Rinky Mossy, fear gripping them. They decided to leave before nightfall, the air growing colder as the eerie sound seemed to chase them. Rinky Mossy tried her best to stop them, her voice trembling with emotion. She begged them to listen, to understand that there was no such thing as ghosts. Running from your fears will never solve anything, she pleaded. We must face this together, find a way to fight it. But the villagers, consumed by their terror, could think of nothing but escape. Fear had taken such a strong hold on them that they couldn't see beyond it, ignoring Rinky Mossy's desperate words, her heart breaking with every passing moment. Rinky Mossy was heartbroken, but deep down, she knew she had to face this alone. Determined, she refused to let her fear take hold of her. As the villagers fled, she stood her ground, alone in the haunted village, her heart heavy, but her resolve unshaken. The darkness surrounded her, but she would not let it consume her. She didn't sleep that night when the eerie sound echoed through the village. Rinky Mossy stormed out, anger blazing in her eyes.
Who is there?
She shouted into the darkness. Because of you, all the villagers fled, and our once happy village is now abandoned. Her voice shook with fury and pain as she began searching frantically, looking everywhere, determined to find the source of the sound that had torn her village apart. She couldn't find anything the next night as the sound echoed once again. Rinky Mossy's frustration boiled over. She stormed out, anger in her every step, ready to confront whatever was haunting her village. On the third night, despite the sharp pain in her knee, Rinky Mossy forced herself to step out again, determined to find a solution. As she searched through the darkness, she was startled to discover the source of the sound was a bird. Surprised and relieved, she couldn't help but laugh through her frustration, realizing the truth behind the eerie noise that had haunted her village. Mossy invited all the villagers to come and see the real ghost. As they gathered, she pointed to the bird and explained, "This is the kookaburra, a bird that makes a sound so eerie it can easily be mistaken for a ghost." The villagers stood in stunned silence, realizing that their fear had been born from a simple creature, not the supernatural force they had feared. The villagers, filled with awe and gratitude, appreciated Rinky Mossy for her bravery. With their fear finally eased, they returned to the village, their spirits lifted, knowing they had been freed from the grip of fear. The moral of the story is that fear often stems from the unknown, and facing our fears with courage and determination can lead to clarity and resolution. It also teaches that running from problems is not the solution. Sometimes understanding and confronting the source of our fear can bring peace.
Thank you. I hope you like it.
Do not forget to
Subscribe,
like,
share.